Um, Hello everyone. Thank you, every board members, for joining me this afternoon. My name is Simon, and I'm with HOA Simplified. And Happy New Year to everyone. Today is a board member onboarding session to set your community up for success and to find the right partnership between us and the board. So again, thank you so much for everyone for joining me today. We really appreciate your partnership. And our goal as a company is to genuinely uplift your community and provide lots of value to you guys. So without further ado, let's get started. So onboarding. So onboarding is one of the kind of key foundation to our partnership, right? So everything that follows is important for the HOA management. So when onboarding is either rushed or incomplete, the association usually feels it immediately. Can cause a lot of headaches to all the board members and to the homeowners, and they can be either confused and preventable rework for the board. So we designed this presentation as a reference to guide you through the onboarding process and also kind of figure out the roles and responsibilities between the board members and us as a management company. So today, this is kind of the table of contents that we're going to go over. So overview of onboarding, what exactly goes on, potential roadblocks that we might face during onboarding and after, roles and responsibilities, maintenance and notice request process, HOA simplified portal, just a quick walkthrough on how to do it, general Q&A at the end if we have time. So let's get it started. So as you can see on your screen right now, this is kind of the overview of what exactly goes on the onboarding. So initialization, right? So when you sign the agreement, when you decide to work with us, we provide all the instructions and welcome email to outline the next steps, and begin this transition. And one of the first step that we take is the bank setup for you guys. So we set up one operating and one reserve account for the association. And I put bank transition in the beginning because it is extremely important. I'll kind of talk about it later as well, but first is the transfer of funds of the initial fund, which allows us as a management company to operate the HOA as soon as the live date hits, right? So, if you're starting on February 1st, we would request the starting funds to be transferred to your new operating account as soon as possible so that the invoices are paid, and I'll kind of go through the example as well. And the third piece is the document transfer and review. So we will collect every document that you guys have, right? So meeting minutes, governing documents, financial documents, so that we can upload to the portal that you will have. So we have a digital archive for your community, and finally portal integration. So we guarantee that your portal is set up by the first of the live date so that homeowners and board members have access to that. So this is what it goes on. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask them here. And you can also feel free to engage us, our team at hello at HO Simplified. Yeah. So if you have any questions while we go through it, please ask some general questions down and below. Next slide. So transition status, what we're still waiting. So these are kind of some of the items that we might be potentially be waiting for, even after the live date. So aside from the documents that I collected about collecting, typically items that are after the live date typically includes ending balance, as you can see, closing checks, final statements, bank reconciliations, and open invoice as well. And as you can see on the box a little here, it says we secure access to all utility and service provider portals tied to the HOA. And I kind of want to stop here and put an emphasis on the utility and vendor list. This is really, really important for us to get for the invoices to be paid on time so that the vendors are happy and they stay with you guys. And also so that your utility for your building or your HOA doesn't stop. So, to give you an example, last year when we did not have the utility and vendor list in time. Their trash was overflowing for a week or two, and it was not a good experience for that community. So we were just calling people left and right, just trying to make sure we get access to that account, but the prior management was not giving us access in time. So it was just kind of mess. So we just asked for the board members to be kind of proactive in getting um, the utility and service provider list so that we can successfully provide a service by your life date. So this is really important. So I want to kind of emphasize that. Again, like you see on the bottom here, we're actively tracking requests and reconciling as items arrive. So we will send kind of constant updates on what documents we've received and what documents we're still awaiting so that you can kind of help us to get the documents. Because at the end of the day, we can request as a your new management company to get these documents, but the ownership of these documents and these accounts, these lists, it all belongs to the HOA, and we just ask your help to work with us to get the information as soon as we can, so we can start the service for your company, for your HOA, excuse me. Awesome. So in this slide, I'm going to talk about like kind of the bottlenecks or what to watch out for during this transition. So first is the initial balance. It may not truly reflect the reality until all prior records are received and reconciled. So this is kind of one of the last documents that we receive, and it typically causes a lot of problems in the beginning in terms of homeowners because right now it's January 1st, and we had a lot of homeowners reach out to us, on the 1st and New Year's and New Year's Eve about, hey, I prepaid my dues. It's not reflecting correctly. And again, one of the documents that we received last is the ending balance because they need to be received and reconciled at the end of the month. So we make sure we communicate that to the board. I mean, we are going to get a lot of calls and messages despite we send in notifications, but we just want to kind of communicate with the board and educate the board that the initial balances are not going to be correct, and there might be some temporary variances as we go through the transition, right? There are going to be some mismatch because the reality is the management companies sometimes do not provide the right information in the beginning. For example, the budget is not approved and they send us that. So there's some balance discrepancy or assessment discrepancy. So we will really work hard to, adjust it and make sure that the documentation is complete. So I just want to ensure that because the onboarding takes 30 days doesn't mean it's going to be boom and it's over. It's going to keep going as we just make sure that all the information is correct and we have a good sets of data for your community. And also, I want to remind all the board members that for us, we send 4 to 5 emails to all the board members, starting from welcome letters to how to pay dues. And we also send physical welcome letters to all the homeowners in the community as well. Awesome. So next slide, homeowner listing template. So I'm bringing this up because it is one of the highest impact items in onboarding. And because in many transitions, a large portion of the homeowner contact data is incomplete or not accurate. I would say about 30% is inaccurate. And we had a transition from really big companies, really well-known companies, really big, community management companies that give us data, and they're sometimes not accurate at all. And I'm putting an emphasis on this because it creates a lot of collection issues, right? Delinquency because they're not receiving the notices, communication delays because they're not receiving notices, and compliance risk when notices or statements go to the wrong place. So one of the first things we do is send out welcome letter and first billing statement for first physical billing statement, so we know if the mails are bounced back and making sure we have the right set of data for the homeowner list. So if you see this kind of example of what we typically need for each community, and again, when the mails are bounced back, just in case from mailing address to property address, we will reach out to the board just to confirm like what's going on here so that you guys can help us to get the right mailing address, right? Because the reality is some owners might not live on the property. They might have a simply separate mailing address in, different parts of United States or even out of country. So we just want to make sure that we have the right mailing address, right email, and right home number, right phone number, and homeowner name as well. So I just want to tell and educate the board members about this. Next important topic is the transfer of funds. Again, I kind of talked about it in the beginning, but I cannot stress this enough about the transfer of funds. When we first begin the onboarding process, we need the initial funds, either $5,000 or $10,000, so that we can start managing your community by the live date. 30 days is not going to be enough for us to gather all the documents, like I said. So one of the first key things is the transfer funds. Right. Because if the funds are delayed again, the invoices will stack up and the vendor payments will be paid late, and the board members end up managing emergencies because actually last one of the first HOAs that we onboarded last year, there was this community who did not transfer the funds for 60 days because the previous managed company was just not budging and sending us the check. So the invoices were not paid for 2 months. So there were some, payment issues. We were just constantly coordinating with the vendors. Hey, we're just waiting. We're just asking for grace to all the vendors. So we don't want to face that situation for any of our community. So we just kind of stress this enough. And you might be wondering, hey, like, what can I do as a board member? We just ask you to kind of keep proactive as we send emails to the management companies and update you to make sure that the initial funds and the closing checks are sent to us as soon as possible for us to manage your community. So these are kind of the instructions that we typically give to the professional managed companies, and also if you're a self-managed company, this is the instruction that we provide. And again, after this webinar, I will send this deck to all the board members so that you guys are kind of informed of what to exactly do for this transfer funds. And next section is who's responsible for what. So this section will kind of go over what the board is responsible for, what homeowner is responsible for, their kind of task and role for us as a management company. So first, the board, the governing body, you guys, the board members, you guys ultimately lead and make decision for the community. So we don't make decision, the board does, right? So vendor and contract oversight, you guys select and approve, monitor vendors. You guys make the decisions such as legal actions and any of the assessment increases. Third, oversee finances. So the board has a fiduciary duty to maintain the healthy finance for the community. So approving the budget, setting the right assessments for the community, and ensuring adequate funding for all the repairs, right? And we will be there to communicate and support any of these decisions. And finally, set policies and rules. So if you guys want to set certain rules according to CCNRs, bylaws, operating rules, fines, enforcement, and any other procedures such as delinquency. So again, ultimately, you guys, the board members, are the key decision makers, and we're just here to support you guys in any way, in every way. So our role as an operation partner, so I would kind of think of as like kind of like almost maybe like a little consultant or as just like your partner to support the community. So anything regarding administrative support, accounting service, vendor support, compliance support, we will be there for you guys. So maintaining records, assisting with document requests, tracking times and priorities will be there. Accounting service, right? Providing monthly financial statements, vendor support, gathering bids, compliance and enforcement. We can connect you with any of the local attorneys in your area, track election, filing, and deadlines. So again, like you see on the bottom of the screen here, the board ultimately decides. We kind of implement and support any documentation, and homeowners ultimately comply and participate as a community member. So this slide, I put together a slide to kind of summarize the responsibility, right? It's kind of just quick question and answer. Who fixes things in common area? Who decides? The board. First action, HOA simplified, right? We kind of get notified from board members or homeowners about what's broken, and we get bids or schedule vendor or ask for board approvals about this action. So again, we kind of gather documents and necessary actions and put up for the board approval. Awesome. So in this slide, we're going to kind of switch up some gear and kind of um, go over kind of how to work with us as HOA Simplified. And you might be coming from self-managed HOA or a different management companies, but this is kind of how we structure things as us. So as a community, there are going to be a lot of maintenance requests or work orders. So these are kind of the steps. Submission. We ask all the board members and homeowners to submit workflow requests through the portal, which include description, location, and photos. And we will reply within 1 business day. And during our routine process, we will schedule a site visit or vendor assessment, and then send a board summary and quotes for approval before the work begins. And again, with us, we aim to provide a really good amount of transparency and to provide a really good structure for the board so that you guys are comfortable of the structure as well. So any of the maintenance requests within the community, we will ask for the board approval for the timely resolution while maintaining a response from our side to react as fast as react quickly and solve these maintenance issues. Awesome. And on this slide is the notice request process. So whenever the board members want to send a notice to homeowners about, about maybe some changes in their um, operating rules, or just want to send out like a letter to the community, like an email blast, we just kind of ask all the board members to follow this quick 4-step process for the notices. So first, draft the exact wording in final form, including like a subject and full body text, because we will send out an email blast from our side, and choose delivery method. So you can choose either email or mail, or we can either do both, right? So if you want to send out a specific letter about something about reminding the community, we can do that email or physical mail. And define the audience, we can confirm recipients, right? The whole community or certain members, we can do that as well. And timing and attachments. So if you want to provide a certain date and time, and also if you want to put any more attachments or links, we're happy to do so as well. So we designed this kind of request process so that it will help us send out notice faster and in a really efficient manner. Awesome. So kind of jumping back into maintenance, the emergency vendors. So we offer an emergency vendor list to your community, which homeowners can access following the same steps outlined before. So we'll provide the vendor list based on the licensing, insurance, HOA experience, and response time. And when HOA Simplified can act without the board's approval is for urgent life and safety, active leak, major damage risk, or critical service outages such as uh, electricity outage, right? And when board approval is required is for non-emergency work, notification expectations is immediate dispatch notice. We will keep updating the board about whenever this action is required. So finally, I thank you so much for hanging in there with me, board members. Thank you so much. And I know this was a lot for you to kind of take in. So these are the kind of some of the top 7 takeaways that you need to remember if you just completely forgot what I just talked about for the last 30 minutes. So first is making sure the starting funds of $5,000 or $10,000, depending on the size of your community, to be transferred as soon as possible when you start. And ensure final funds are transferred on time as well, so that we can start getting a better understanding of your community. Second, helping us getting the utility and vendor list so we can pay them on time. This is also super, super important. So those top 2 things are, I would say, the most important items during the onboarding process. And third is using the board Google group. So we will set it up for you guys, kind of linking all the board members to one Gmail. So you guys can use that specific Gmail so you guys can CC the board on all the emails that you communicate. So not only that we are that we know that you're communicating as a board, but also so that all the board members are exactly aligned on what they're communicating. So please use the board Google group. Fourth, using the portal for work order and any maintenance request. I will go through the portal after this really quick, uh, kind of showing you how to navigate through that as well. Fifth, helping us confirm statement delivery for homeowners and the mailing address list. Again, we will send out welcome letter and the billing statement to all the homeowners, just making sure that we have the accurate homeowner list with us will be really helpful. Thank you so much. Six, approving invoices through the portal and monitoring ACC requests and other requests if necessary. Finally, sending all invoices to invoices at hoasimplified.com. So instead of sending invoice to hello, which is our original email for all the other requests, please send all the invoices and questions about to invoices at hoasimplified.com. So these seven things are really important, especially the top two. So thank you so much for remembering that. Awesome. So next, I will go through the portal, how to navigate it if you haven't gotten the full education on it. So let me just reshare my screen here. Awesome. So this is the portal that you guys will be utilizing. And your screen may look different if you're on the tier one service, which is the accounting only service, which might miss some of the violations, work orders, architectural requests because you guys are on only financial accounting. But if you're on the full management, which is just with maintenance on our tier two service, you should have this full view. So first view is a dashboard, home, where you'll see kind of announcement from us. We typically post the how to pay your dues for all the homeowners. And again, we can post any of the announcements that you want to put on here for your community, for your members. And pay assessments. These are kind of some of the videos that we previously sent. And on here, you can send work orders on the portal. So you can add work order through here, short description, providing complete details of your request. So the location, the problem, what needs to be addressed, and if you have like a vendor that you use, it would be really helpful if you include it on there, and any attachments if you have a picture of it as well. So following those procedures will really help us to efficiently kind of navigate through the work order and act on it as soon as possible. And so I want to go over the board overview. So again, the aging report review, you will see all of the homeowners of their aging. So all the balances, current, over 30, 60, 90, and their full balance as well. Violations. So if you ever see a violation and want us to post it on here, we can do that as well. ACC review. So we will post whenever the ACC request is made through the portal, we will review them as our team will review them based on the architectural guidelines that are set by your community. And we'll just make sure any of the attachments, any of the information that's on there, and we will post them on here. And you'll be able to view each one and approve them on here. And work order review. So whenever homeowners or board members submit them, you will be able to see here. And we will try to put the status an open, waiting quote, awaiting quote, and there's another status as closed as well if the work order has been resolved. And account receivable. So this is kind of anything regarding the collections. So if you're dealing with any of the not delinquency and collection issues, the escalation will be viewed on here. So banking and invoicing. So this was what I was talking about, the invoicing piece. So homeowners homeowners can't view this. Only board members can view the bank summary and invoice approval on here as well. So you guys can see the physical invoice of each file and approve or decline with comments. So next is the vendor payment history. On here, you'll be able to search up all of the payments that you have made, and you can filter out based on the vendor type, the dates, and the amount as well. So this is the kind of quick overview of the portal that you'll be utilizing. And again, You can see your directory here with all the homeowners, right? So you can see their email, their phone number, their address, and documents for board members. We'll set up these documents for board members to review, set up each folder, and for the calendar, if you want us to post something on here, such as a board meeting or any of the events that are going on in the community, such as big projects, we can post it on here as well. Just let us know by using our request form. So that is it for the portal review. I guess we can quickly move on to Q&A if anyone has questions.